President Donald Trump, sworn into office and signs the most executive orders ever by a president on day one. 10 of them focus on immigration.
Today, I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense.
Let's look at the changes Trump is making. I'm Ann Ahern. This is The Brief. President Trump is wasting no time. Those who know him well say in his first term, he also tried to make big changes, but was told, slow down. Congress moves more slowly. This time, he is not wasting any time. Immigration, one of his key campaign promises, and that's where he's focused on day one. Trump is declaring a national emergency at the border and is sending U.S. troops to the U.S.-Mexico border. He also plans to end catch and release and does promise to continue building the wall. Trump plans to label drug cartels terrorist organizations. He also wants to end birthright citizenship. Now, that's a constitutional protection, so he will need a constitutional amendment to change it. What he's calling for is this change going forward, not for those who have already received that protection. What is birthright citizenship? It means if you are born in this country, you are a citizen of this country. Even, let's say, your parents may be from another country, but if you are born here in the U.S., you are a U.S. citizen. As soon as he took office, he ended what many asylum seekers had been using. It's a mobile app called CBP One. It helped to restore order as those sought appointments at the border to try to get into the U.S. As soon as Trump took office, that CBP One app, it no longer existed. It was shut down. Next up, the economy. As Trump puts it, let's make America more affordable again. And in that respect, he plans to unleash energy policies.
I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
Trump also plans to end leasing wind farms. He wants to expand domestic energy production. He also wants to lower EPA emissions on cars. Trump plans to also withdraw from the Paris Climate Accords. That Paris Agreement, adopted back in 2015, it is legally binding, and it's meant to fight climate change. Not everyone agreed with it. Certainly Donald Trump does not. However, at that time, yes, President Obama in charge did agree. On the economy, we're looking for executive actions, not necessarily orders. As he sees it, these energy measures will reduce the cost of living. As far as core Republican conservative values promised all along by Trump during his campaign, he says those DEI policies, they're going away. Instead, he will be focused on colorblind and merit-based. He's also issuing a federal mandate that there are only two sexes, male and female. How might that impact all of us? Well, it could even impact your passport or other federal documents. It could impact education policy. It could impact the military. We're going to be watching that for sure. Trump also has big plans to rename the Gulf of Mexico and Mount Denali. Let's start with the Gulf of Mexico. As for the Gulf of Mexico, Trump says he'd like it called the Gulf of America. It's not unusual for bodies of water to have different names, but for Trump to make this big change happen, he's also going to have to work with international hydrographic organizations to see it through. Even if that happens, other nations may not recognize the name change. When it comes to Denali, that was an Obama rename. It was changed from Mount McKinley. Today, Trump says he will restore that name to Mount McKinley to honor President William McKinley. Why was it called McKinley to begin with? A gold prospector gave it that name. He was an admirer of McKinley at the time, although we've read McKinley never visited Alaska. Nevertheless, that was the name since 1896. Officially, the federal government also agreed back in 1917. However, President Obama in 2015 changed the name to Denali. Denali means the high one in its Native American origin, and that's why President Obama gave it that honor. However, Trump tried to do this in his first term. The Alaska senators said no, they objected. However, today he plans to go forward and rename it Mount McKinley. Overall, very busy day one start. We're already seeing legal challenges to what Donald Trump is proposing. We want to know from you, do you agree with these changes, and what else would you like to see happen? Thanks for checking in on The Brief.